तो सच ना रहे। सच घटे या बढ़े तो सच ना रहे। झूठ की कोई इंतहा ही नहीं।
I extend my warm greetings to each one of you present here. We are blessed to have the presence of our Honorable Chairman, Board of Governors, LBSIM, Shri Anil Shastriji, and respected Mrs. Manju Shastriji in this second FPM inaugural ceremony, batch 2023. The august presence of our Director, Dr. Praveen Gupta, Heads New Projects, Dr. G.L. Sharma, the Chief Administrative Officer, Colonel Ajay Sood, faculty members, students, scholars, and staff in this momentous second FPM inaugural ceremony is exhilarating. Albert Einstein saw art and science as branches of the same tree, and Isaac Asimov beautifully described the inseparability of art and science when he stated, "There is an art to science and a science in art. The two are not enemies, but the different aspects of whole." As technology intrudes into all aspects of life and threatens to diminish our cognitive prowess, we need to hone our intuitive and imaginative acumen to maintain superiority over technology. And what better way than to infuse art with science? Therefore, we have a pre-inaugural cultural event, an excellent concoction of dance and music. We'll witness performance by Niharika and Harshita and Kathak by Vedika. So now I would like to hand over to Divya.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, New Delhi, I, Divya Bhanot, PGDM, first year, welcome you all to the pre-FPM inaugural cultural ceremony. My respected professors, seniors, and all my batchmates, let's all give a round of applause for all the participants. Moving forward, dance depicts the cultural aspects of a civilization. India has a rich tradition of classical dances. The Indian classical dance aims to experience the liberation and growth of righteousness as man by manifesting the glory of God. Today, Indian dance forms have captured the global attention in all the cultural vistas of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, not wasting any more time, please welcome with a round of applause Vedika, Niharika, and Harshita, who will be performing a classical dance.
Sa sa ni sa ni ni sa ni pa pa ni
Chairman, Board of Governors, Shri Anil Shastri ji. We now commence the second LBSIM FPM inaugural ceremony and commence by having the LBSIM anthem. The LBSIM anthem symbolizes the essence of our institute's values. May I now request all of you to please arise as we play the institute's anthem.
लाल बहादुर के सपनों का अनुपम अनुसंधान, शोध और शिक्षा से करते सकल विश्व निर्माण, सत्य सरल सुंदर जीवन का शिक्षा ही आधार, LBSIM करती है सतत इसे साकार, जीवन और प्रबंधन कार्य करके अक्षय ज्ञान, छात्र यहाँ के नित्य बढ़ाते मातृभूमि का मान, शास्त्री जी के ही सारे आदर्श हमारे प्राण, LBSIM का प्रण है भारत बने महान, भारत बने महान, जय जवान जय किसान, जय जवान जय किसान, जयती जयती जय 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 LBSIM महान।
Thank you all. Please be seated. One of the reasons we have immense pride in our institute is the rich and unparalleled legacy of our institute. The indelible stamp imprinted upon Indian polity, public life, and the collective Indian psyche of our beloved second Prime Minister of India, Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. We will see the short documentary on his life. Every time it is played, we get goosebumps and derive inspiration. In a world where fake news threatens to tear the global social fabric and often succeeds, the life of Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji is an unequivocal demonstration of by how, following the path of honesty, truthfulness, simplicity, authenticity, and courage, one achieves self-reliance, self-respect, and can do a breakthrough performance at a global level. We will now present the documentary on Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri ji.
सत्ताईस मई 1964 पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू का निधन हो गया। देश गहरे विषाद में डूब गया। सभी के मन में एक ही सवाल था, कौन बनेंगे नए प्रधान। 27 मई 1964 27 मई 1964 पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू का निधन हो गया। देश गहरे विषाद में डूब गया। सभी के मन में एक ही सवाल था, कौन बनेंगे नए प्रधानमंत्री, कौन करेंगे इस महान सभ्यता का नेतृत्व?
आफ्टर नेहरू के बाद कौन होगा? तो ये उनको इस बात का एहसास था। जब उनसे पूछा गया कि इस कमी को दूर कैसे करेंगे, तो उन्होंने कहा कि पंडित जी ने अपने व्यक्तित्व की वजह से, टावरिंग पर्सनैलिटी की वजह से, उन्होंने इस पद को शक्ति प्रदान की, और मैं प्रयास करूंगा इस पद से शक्ति प्राप्त करने की, जिससे कि मैं देश की सेवा कर सकूं।
2 अक्टूबर 1904 के दिन काशी के पास मुगल सराय में जन्मे लाल बहादुर का पूरा व्यक्तित्व ही गांधीवाद का जीता जागता स्वरूप था।
उनकी सादगी, पहली बात तो धोती पहनते थे, ये आम आदमी को उससे बड़ा भरोसा हो जाता था कि हमारे जैसे है।
पिता की छत्रछाया बचपन में ही छिन गई थी। विधवा मां के साथ ननिहाल चले गए, वहीं पर परवरिश हुई। 1921 में जब स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन में कूद पड़े तो निष्ठा और दृढ़ता के प्रमाण मिलते चले गए। 17 वर्ष की आयु से स्वाधीनता तक लगभग 9 साल जेल में काटे। रहीमन हीरा कब कहे लाख टका मेरो मोल। पार्टी कार्य में उनकी निष्ठा से प्रभावित होकर नेहरू ने लाल बहादुर शास्त्री को रेल मंत्री नियुक्त किया, परंतु 1953 में घटी एक रेल दुर्घटना की नैतिक जिम्मेदारी लेते हुए शास्त्री जी ने मंत्रालय से इस्तीफा दे दिया।
उन्होंने वो इस्तीफा देकर राजनीति में नए मूल्यों की स्थापना की।
नेहरू जी के मंत्रिमंडल में कई विशिष्ट पदों पर अपनी छाप छोड़ते हुए वे गृह मंत्री नियुक्त हुए। 9 जून 1964 पंडित नेहरू के निधन के बाद स्वयं पंडित नेहरू के चहेते लाल बहादुर शास्त्री ने भारत के दूसरे प्रधानमंत्री का पदभार संभाला। कुल 4 शब्दों में उस मृदुभाषी व्यक्ति ने देश को एक नारा दिया, जय जवान जय किसान।
उन्होंने उस समय इस बात का एहसास कर लिया था, देश के अंदर हमें अपने जो भंडार है अनाज के उन्हें पूरा भर देना है, और एक जो भारत के गौरव और गरिमा को देश विश्व में खड़ा कर देना है, वो अगर संभव है तो जवानों और किसानों की जय जयकार करने से ही है।
Lal Bahadur Shastri, Prime Minister of India, speaking on Independence Day in 1965.
हम हथियारों का जवाब हथियारों से दें।
5 सितंबर 1965 पाकिस्तान ने भारत के खिलाफ खुली जंग का ऐलान कर दिया। जवाब में भारतीय सेना पंजाब से सीमा पार कर गई। जब तक संयुक्त राष्ट्र की पहल पर युद्ध विराम हुआ, तब तक भारत की सेनाएं पाकिस्तानी सेना पर हावी हो चुकी थी।
वो किसी के दबाव में आने वाले व्यक्ति नहीं थे। जब ऐसी घटना होती है तो बहुत ज्यादा अंतर्राष्ट्रीय दबाव होते हैं। अगर आप दब गए तो झुक जाएंगे, वो नहीं दबे। लेकिन फिर शायद दोनों देशों की भलाई सोचकर वो युद्ध विराम पर राजी हो गए।
10 जनवरी 1966 ताशकंद। जिन आदर्शों के नैतिक बल का मजा वो पाकिस्तान को चखा चुके थे, आज उन्हीं आदर्शों की उदारता से उन्होंने समझौते के कागजात पर दस्तखत कर दिए। लेकिन अभी समझौते के दस्तावेज पर स्याही सूखी भी न थी कि उसी रात शास्त्री जी को दिल का दौरा पड़ा और उनकी मृत्यु हो गई। गांधी जी ने कहा था कि शत्रु का दिल जीतना ही वास्तविक जीत है। सुदूर ताशकंद में जब स्वर्गीय लाल बहादुर शास्त्री को कोसिजिन के साथ साथ खुद जनरल अयूब खान ने कंधा दिया, तो लगा जैसे शास्त्री जी बापू के फलसफे को चरितार्थ कर दुनिया से रुखसत हो गए थे। लाल बहादुर शास्त्री केवल 18 महीनों तक भारत के प्रधानमंत्री रहे, लेकिन अपने प्रधानमंत्रित्व के छोटे से कार्यकाल में शास्त्री जी ने भारत के हर नागरिक के कानों में आत्मसम्मान और आत्मबल का मंत्र फूंक दिया था। अपने व्यक्तित्व से उन्होंने निष्काम कर्म और पुरुषार्थ की वो मिसाल कायम की कि उनकी गिनती भारतीय इतिहास के सर्वोच्च महापुरुषों में होती है।
The inaugural ceremony is a solemn occasion. Out of the many choices, 13 research scholars have trusted LBSIM with 4 years of their lives to create socially impactful and thereafter be lifelong researchers and contributors to the society. As our scholars of the 2023 batch step into the journey of knowledge creation with grit and determination, we invoke the blessings of God by lighting the lamp that symbolizes knowledge acquisition and eradication of darkness from our lives. Let's pay tribute to the Bharat Ratna awardee Shri Lal Bahadur Shastri Ji. May I now request our Honorable Chairman, Shri Anil Shastri Ji, respected Mrs. Manju Shastri Ji, the Director of LBSIM, Dr. Praveen Gupta, Dr. G.L. Sharma, the CAO, Colonel Sood, Ms. Naina, the youngest working scholar of batch 2023, and Ms. Vrinda, the Vice President Management Grid, and Professor Vikas Rai Bhatnagar, Chair, Fellow Program in Management, on the dais for the lamp lighting ceremony.
इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। दूर अज्ञान के हो अंधेरे, तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे। दूर अज्ञान के हो अंधेरे, तू हमें ज्ञान की रोशनी दे। हर बुराई से बच के रहे हम, जितनी भी दे भली जिंदगी दे। बैर होना किसी का किसी से, भावना मन में बदले की होना। हम चले नेक रास्ते पे हमसे भूल कर भी कोई भूल होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना। इतनी शक्ति हमें देना दाता, मन का विश्वास कमजोर होना।
A big round of applause for them, please. May I now request Dr. Balram Tyagi to kindly present a beautiful floral arrangement to Shri Anil Shastri ji. Sir, please. May I now request Dr. Rekha Gupta to present the floral arrangement to Mrs. Manju Shastri ji. Now, the ambience of the evening is perfectly set for us to welcome and request the director of our institute, Dr. Praveen Gupta, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Respected Chairman, Board of Governors, Shri Anil Shastri ji, Mrs. Manju Shastri ji, Chief Guest of Eminence for today's FPM program, Professor Jagdish Sheth, Guest of Honor, Professor Eugene Fernandez, Program Chair, FPM Program, Dr. Vikas Rai Bhatnagar, Dr. G.L. Sharma, Colonel Ajay Sood, faculty colleagues, FPM scholars who are joining us today, and all the students of PGDM batch 2023. It is a proud moment for all of us as we are witnessing the FPM inaugural program, the second FPM inaugural program for LBSIM. Let me congratulate all the scholars and welcome them who have joined today. Let me also congratulate the selection team led by Shri Vikas Rai Bhatnagar and my faculty colleagues who have done an extensive work in selecting the FPM scholars. I welcome the chief guest for today's program, Padma Bhushan, Professor Jagdish Sheth. We are hugely privileged who will be addressing us today. And let me acknowledge anybody who is from marketing and any other areas who has been blessed and benefited by the scholarly contribution and wisdom of Professor Jagdish Sheth. Let me also admit, on LinkedIn, almost every alternate day, I read a new post from him, and he is extensively writing on geopolitics and the India-centric approach that the globe is witnessing now. Professor Eugene Fernandez, who is the managing director of Metanova, and he is an integrator of strategy, culture, change management, and leadership. We welcome the guest of honor today, Professor Fernandez. The theme of LBSIM is to groom and nurture socially sensitive business leaders. And our PGDM program is aptly aligned to it. The theme of PGDM inaugural program today is blending art and science with humanistic impact. I think this is the central theme which Professor Vikas Rai Bhatnagar is pursuing and working very hard to blend in our FPM program. I also congratulate the students who have shown the cultural event today so far. And one thing which I learned from this is diversity. Yes, India is land of diversity. And we should be proud of this diversity. And I think this diversity should be blended in terms of divergent views and divergent opinions in our studies. The National Education Program 2020, NEP 2020, also focuses on multidimensional learning, multidimensional teaching, and multidimensional research. So I request the FPM team in LBSIM will encourage this multi-diversity, multicultural, and multidimensional approach in research. With these words, I congratulate the entire team of LBSIM, and I welcome Chairman Shri Anil Shastri ji, Mrs. Manju Shastri ji, to this wonderful evening that Dr. Vikas and the team has planned for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your words and for setting the tone for today's momentous second inaugural ceremony of Fellow Program in Management. I now call upon the chairperson of Fellow Program in Management, Professor Vikas Rai Bhatnagar, to address us.
Honorable Chairman, Board of Governors, LBSIM Shri Anil Shastri ji, respected Mrs. Shastri ji, Guest of Honor Eugene Fernandez, Director LBSIM Dr. Gupta, Head New Projects Dr. GL Sharma, Chief Administrative Officer Colonel Sood, the FPM committee members, core committee members, Professor Balram Tyagi and Dr. Rekha Gupta, my faculty colleagues, staff members, our dear FPM colleagues of batch 2022 and 2023, and our dear PGDM students, I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you. Good science, in its quest for truth, roots itself in honesty, and in its abstraction transcends geographical boundaries and ideologies. Management research is contextual, unlike abstract sciences like mathematics. And impactful management scholars ground their research in their experiences and management practices. It is this philosophical orientation that has led to the articulation of the FPM strategy, the vision, mission, program education objectives, and more importantly, the values. The LBSIM FPM promises 3 outcomes. I have been talking about it to each scholar before they came for the selection, during the selection, and I reiterate today on the second inaugural of the FPM program. The first is creating socially impactful knowledge. The second is our FPM program should lead to career progression of our scholars, be they from the policy or consulting or management practice or academia. And the third is the process of knowledge creation should be enjoyable for each one of you. Globally, there is a shift in the trend of management research. There is a restlessness towards research to impact management practice, and also to create societal impact. Now, this poses design challenges for us. To use a terminology of physical sciences, if the vision, mission, program education objectives, and values are the potential energy, it manifests and gets kinetic in the form of course designs. The director mentioned the social sensitivity, which is an integral part of our institute. In our doctoral program, the way we carry out social sensitivity, we build social sensitivity, I'm happy to share that it has been positively reinforced by the global accreditation agency ASCSB with a publication in March where we shared our process as to how we carry out global sensitivity. I'm also happy to share that one of the most important value, the value of purpose, focus, and dharma-driven, is again finding a place in the ASCSB with a publication which has been accepted and which will be published sometime in the month of September this year. And the word dharma is finding a place in the title of the article in the Global Accreditation Journal of ASCSB. Science progresses with falsification. Einstein's general theory of relativity replaced Newton's law of gravitation. If a law or theory cannot be falsified, it falls in the realm of opinion, beliefs, even religion, but not science. Therefore, critical thinking is extremely important for us. It is a very apt moment to recall what George Bernard Shaw has to say. And he says, "You see things as they are and say why. I dream of things that were not there and say why not." It is this thought process which is required for carrying out impactful research. Our scientifically designed yet playfully executed selection process rigorously tests our scholars on the dimensions of values. Is high on imagination, cognitive courage, humility to learn, and they have a passion for excellence. On behalf of the Institute, I extend a very warm welcome to each scholar who has chosen to join our institute for doing the doctoral program. On behalf of the faculty, I assure you that the three outcomes will be met. I am deeply indebted to the two guest speakers, Professor Sheth, who will be joining us around 5:30 from Atlanta, and my friend, Dr. Eugene Fernandez, who has already joined from Sydney, Australia. My deep gratitude to our chairman, Shri Anil Shastriji, and Mrs. Shastriji for their gracious presence and for blessing the fellow program in management and the new scholars joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address. You have ignited our enthusiasm, and we look forward to a memorable evening ahead. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Balram Tyagi to introduce the chief guest for today's evening, Dr. Eugene Fernandez.
Good evening, all. It is my great honor to introduce Dr. Eugene Fernandez, Managing Director of the consulting firm Metanova, which provides solutions to clients by integrating strategy, culture, change, and leadership. He is also Associate Program Director for Executive Corporate Programs at Melbourne Business School. Dr. Eugene Fernandes
often the least obvious. One such high point of leverage for carrying impactful research is the thought processes of the scholar, their emotional well-being, and the design of an institutional ecosystem that supports and nurtures the cognitive robustness and emotional vibrancy of our scholars. The route and process to achieve this is by, firstly, articulating the values of our fellow program, and secondly, and importantly, deploying these values such that these manifest in our day-to-day behaviors of all the stakeholders who associate with our FPM program. Of the many ways to deploy these values, we at LBSIM have chosen to also employ art to generate awareness, internalize, and thereafter externalize the values in our behaviors. We now present a theatre, Aisa Kya Hai, championed by the LBSIM Theatre Club, Abhivyakti, and performed by the first-year students. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy a wonderful theatrical performance for all of you. Aisa Kya Hai? So we will wait for 5 minutes so that the chairman and Mrs. Manju Shastri joins us.
कल के फेयरवेल पार्टी में मजा आ गया, बट अब एहसास हो रहा है कि LBSIM छोड़ रहे हैं।
2 साल कैसे निकल गए पता ही नहीं चला।
यार ये फेयरवेल रैडिसन में क्यों कराते हैं? हमारा इंस्टीट्यूट किसी 5 स्टार होटल से कम नहीं है अब। देन व्हाई रैडिसन? व्हाई?
वो इसीलिए ताकि तुम जैसे पढ़ाकू भी कुछ दुनिया देख ले। हाय ठसों में सब जॉब ले रहे हैं, तुझे रिसर्च करनी है।
मत भूलो कि 5 साल जॉब कर चुका हूँ, पर यहाँ के टीचिंग और फैकल्टी ने बहुत इंस्पायर कर दिया है। रिसर्च एक ऐसी फील्ड है जहाँ तुम्हारे टॉपिक में तुमसे ज्यादा कोई नहीं जानता है। इन्हीं गहराइयों को हम स्कॉलरशिप कहते हैं। तुम तो अवेलेबल नॉलेज यूज करोगे, पर मैं नॉलेज क्रिएट करूंगा, ऐसी नॉलेज जो दूसरों के काम आए। नॉलेज क्रिएशन का ये नशा अलग ही है यार। मैनेजमेंट एक ग्रोइंग फील्ड है और उसमें बहुत कुछ करना है अभी।
नॉलेज क्रिएट करने का फायदा क्या है? नॉलेज की दुनिया में कमी नहीं है। व्हाट वी लैक इज द अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ नॉलेज एंड यूजिंग इट प्रॉपर्ली। अगर दुनिया की 5% नॉलेज भी लोग समझ ले और डिप्लॉय कर ले तो दुनिया की 95% प्रॉब्लम्स खुद ब खुद सॉल्व हो जाएंगी।
इट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ सेंस। हॉथॉर्न स्टडीज को ही देख लो। 1930s की बात है जब पाया गया कि लीडरलेस, ऑटोनमस और सेल्फ मैनेज टीम ज्यादा प्रोडक्टिव होती हैं। पर हकीकत क्या है? जिसे थोड़ी सी पावर मिल जाए बस दूसरों को कंट्रोल करने में लग जाते हैं, और जब बिजनेस रिजल्ट्स नहीं आते तो खुद को छोड़ के सबकी बुराइयां करके टॉक्सिक कल्चर क्रिएट करते हैं। अब हमारे कुछ क्लब्स के पोजीशन होल्डर्स को ही देख लो। सो द पॉइंट इज नॉट मोर नॉलेज क्रिएशन बट अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड अप्लाइंग इट। हॉथॉर्न स्टडीज के करीब 100 साल बाद भी रिसर्चर्स वही ढोल पीट रहे हैं। शेयर्ड लीडरशिप, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड लीडरशिप, सेल्फ लीडरशिप। वो कहावत है ना, ओल्ड माइंड इन न्यू बॉटल्स। बस वही हो रहा है रिसर्च में।
मेरा तो मानना है कि अगर हॉथॉर्न स्टडीज की फाइंडिंग्स कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इंप्लीमेंट कर दे तो 50% एम्प्लॉय प्रोडक्टिविटी और हैप्पीनेस खुद ब खुद बढ़ जाएंगी।
एग्जैक्टली, दिस इज माय पॉइंट। पर अगर मैनेजर्स हॉथॉर्न स्टडीज को पढ़ के उसे इम्प्लीमेंट ही ना करें तो उसमें रिसर्च की क्या फॉल्ट है? और जो प्रोफेशनल्स मैनेजमेंट थ्योरी और फ्रेमवर्क को पढ़ के इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं वो अच्छा परफॉर्म करते हैं। वी हैव टू कीप मेकिंग पॉजिटिव एफर्ट्स, डूइंग गुड रिसर्च, knowing about it and making use of it to make a difference. तभी तो सोसाइटी आगे बढ़ेगी।
पर इंडिया में गुड रिसर्च होती ही कहाँ है? हमारे 2 साल के PGDM में हमने ऐसा कौन सा थ्योरी ऑफ फ्रेमवर्क पढ़ लिया जो इंडियंस ने कंट्रीब्यूट किया हो? इंडियंस जब बाहर जाते हैं तो एक्सेल करते हैं, पर इंडिया में ऐसा क्या है कि रिसर्च थ्राइव ही नहीं करती?
यह बात तो है। मेरे कजन एक रेप्यूटेड इंस्टीट्यूट से डॉक्टरेट कर रहे थे। वो बड़े परेशान थे, कहते थे कि बस कुछ ना पूछो, किसी तरीके से डॉक्टरेट कंप्लीट करिए। एज इफ डूइंग रिसर्च इज सच अ पेनफुल एक्टिविटी। ये बताओ, अगर एक म्यूजिशियन को म्यूजिक में मजा आता है, एक सिंगर को सिंगिंग में और एक पेंटर को पेंटिंग में, तो भला एक रिसर्चर को रिसर्च में मजा क्यों नहीं आता?
गाइस लुक, जॉनसन इज कमिंग। ये हमारे 2022 बैच के रिसर्च स्कॉलर हैं। इनका असली नाम आशीष है, पर बैच में 2 आशीष हैं, इसीलिए सब इन्हें निकनेम जॉनसन से बुलाते हैं। ये नोएडा से आते हैं और हमेशा कॉफी पी के ही क्लास जाते हैं। अगर इनके पास थोड़ा टाइम है तो इनसे पूछे रिसर्च के बारे में। चल चल चल। हेलो जॉनसन।
Hello.
Do you have some time?
I have 15 minutes before I get to my class. Let me just have this important call. I'll get back to you. So, good morning everyone. You all seem in a very happy mood today.
Yes sir. कल फेयरवेल हो गई. Now we're just reminiscing the good times we spent here. By the way sir, I had a couple of questions. Why don't research scholars enjoy their research? And is that the reason why we don't have impactful research from India?
Well, that's a very profound and interesting question. और इसमें हम चाहें तो घंटों तक विचार विमर्श भी कर सकते हैं और significant insights तो हम सबको definitely मिलेंगे. But वो जैसे एक कहावत नहीं है, it's better to set things right than to find out what actually went wrong. और इसी बात पे मैं LBSIM FPM का एक पहलू रखना चाहूँगा जो impactful knowledge creation में सहायक होगा. Any guesses on what would that be?
Sir, is that design of the course?
Faculties?
Library, databases and software?
Quality of scholars?
No. Well, what each of you is saying is valid and important. But what is vital and infuses the soul into all these essential attributes is LBSIM FPM values. Values किसी भी organization या program की रूह और जान होती है. And the way the LBSIM FPM values have been articulated in this university is just a game changer for doing impactful research.
Values? That's interesting. LBSIM FPM की क्या values हैं? और ये क्यों important है?
Values हमारे behavior की guidelines होती है. वो जिसे हम देखते हुए आज तक करते हुए आए हैं और वो जिसे हमें देखते हुए भविष्य में बिहेव करना चाहिए. कंपनीज अनुमान तौर पे कंपनीज वैल्यूज को एक ऑर्नामेंट की तरह देखती है, बट वो कंपनीज जो वैल्यूज को जीती है वही तो सस्टेनेबल ग्रोथ और प्रोग्रेस शो कर पाती है.
So, what are the FPM values?
And can you also share their importance?
Sure, it is easy for me to describe these values to you as we live these values day in and day out. ये हमारे FPM प्रोग्राम का विजन, मिशन, प्रोग्राम ऑब्जेक्टिव और वैल्यू कार्ड है जिसे हम हमेशा हमारे साथ रखते हैं. हमारे FPM में कुछ 6 वैल्यू है, जिसमें सबसे पहली वैल्यू आती है साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी. साइकोलॉजिकल सेफ्टी माने मनोवैज्ञानिक सुरक्षा. A learner is always unsure and has to overcome the fear of आखिर लोग क्या कहेंगे. He needs to have the courage of learning new things, diving into different avenues in his life, and that's where he needs to be psychologically strong.
That's very interesting. What is the second value?
The second value is directly based upon the idea professed by Albert Einstein. He said, imagination is more important than knowledge. We at LBSIM believe that our mind isn't meant for storing information, but rather as a tool of peeping into the past, analyzing pattern and visualizing the future. हमारे भूतपूर्व राष्ट्रपति कलाम साहब ने भी बहुत खूब कहा है, dream, dream, dream. Dream transforms into thoughts, and thoughts transforms into actions. If you look closely, the first value of psychological safety directly correlates with the second value of cognitive courage, where the LBSIM provides us with the safety of psychology, and it requires thinking, imaginative and cognitive courage in order to do impactful research.
Thinking and feeling scholars. That's a nice phrase. Can you further explain why this quality is sought and considered so important for good research?
If you see globally, research is just too disconnected from impacting practices and contributing to societal change. इसके बहुत कारण हैं. मानो इंसानों में इंसानियत कम होती जा रही है. 28 मई को दिल्ली की सड़क पे एक 16 साल की बच्ची का सरेआम चाकू मार मार के हत्या कर दी और लोग बस वीडियो बनाते रह गए. कोई आगे तक नहीं आया उस बेचारी की मदद करने के लिए. एज अ ट्रेंड सोसाइटी में 2 फिनोमिनॉन्स बहुत डिस्टर्बिंग है. पहला कि हम गलत काम को गलत नहीं मानते हैं और तो और कुछ लोग उसे ग्लोरीफाई तक करते हैं. दूसरा, बजाय इसके कि हम गलत काम के खिलाफ आवाज उठाएं, लोग बस पावर का इस्तेमाल करके अपनी ज़बान को बंद और लफ्जों को सी देते हैं. कौन सी बात ज्यादा गलत है, गलत काम करना या गलत काम के बारे में बोलना? जावेद अख्तर साहब ने एक शेर में बहुत खूबी से बयां किया है, न लफ्ज कोई न आरजू है, न ख्वाब कोई न जुस्तजू है. यह शख्स तो कब का मर चुका है, यह शख्स तो कब का मर चुका है, बेकफ्न फिर यह लाश क्यों है? इसीलिए मैनेजमेंट थ्योरीज एंड प्रैक्टिसेस में हमें चाहिए, अपार्ट फ्रॉम थिंकिंग एंड फीलिंग, LBSIM also requires writing and speaking scholars. The LBSIM requires thinking, writing, feeling and speaking scholars.
Very true. I wish I was a part of this class. What is the third value?
The third value is cognitive courage. हमें मैनेजमेंट थ्योरीज और प्रैक्टिसेस में कई बार गलतियां नजर आती है. एक अनईजी सी फीलिंग रहती है, एक झिझक होती है अपने थॉट्स को शब्दों में बयां करने के लिए। बशीर बद्र साहब ने एक बहुत खूब बात कही थी कि जी चाहता है सच बोले, कि जी चाहता है सच बोले, क्या करे हौसला ही नहीं होता। इसीलिए at LBSIM we are able to express ourselves freely, having the courage of opinions and the expression value. इसीलिए at LBSIM में हम लोग अपने cognitive courage को काम करते हैं। Now if you look clearly, the first value of psychological safety and the second value of cognitive courage and the third value of imagination, they all three directly correlates with each other.
Cognitive courage is a value even our chairman, board of governors symbolize. I observe that the FPM values flow from the institutional values.
Exactly. And they are attuned to doing impactful research because of the same reasons. The fourth value is humility to learn. अगर किसी में इल्म का गुरूर है तो वो इंसान कभी अच्छे से रिसर्च ही नहीं कर सकता, वो कुछ नया ही नहीं सीख सकता। इसलिए हम लोगों ने हमारे बैच में एक ऐसा माइंडसेट डेवलप करा है कि भैया हमें तो कुछ नहीं आता है। दिस इज समवट पैराडॉक्सिकल टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, बट बिलीव मी, हम लोग बस ये सोचते हुए चलते हैं कि हमें तो कुछ आता नहीं, हम तो कुछ कर नहीं पाएंगे, और बस नई चीजें सीखते चले जाते हैं। एंड वी डाइव इनटू डिफरेंट एवेन्यूज ऑल टुगेदर।
In PGDM, we tends to develop immense confidence in knowing, but it seems the reverse works for the research. So, what is the fifth value?
The fifth value is pursuit of excellence. Excellence की राह में कोई shortcut नहीं होता है. We have to be thorough in whatever we do, and we believe in creating benchmarks, not benchmarking or emulating someone else, but rather using our own imagination and cognitive courage in creating impactful knowledge.
Wow, all this is so energizing and inspirational. Set trends such that instead of following others, others follow us.
And lastly, the overarching value that energizes all the other attributes and the values is purpose-focused and dharma-driven. I know it's difficult to understand the concept of dharma. बस आप ये मान लीजिए कि आप जिस पोजीशन पे हैं और अगर आप अपनी ड्यूटी, अपना काम सही से कर रहे हैं तो बस आप धर्म निभा रहे हैं। आई एम वेरी ऑप्टिमिस्टिक दैट इफ यू फॉलो ऑल द 6 values, I know you will do great in your life and ignite the fire of doing impactful research. Anyway guys, I'm getting late for my class now. It was nice chit chatting with you all. Until next time, bye bye. Bye.
सुमित, कहाँ खो गया? यही सोच रहा है ना, वो जगह मिल गई जहाँ से तुझे डॉक्टरेट करनी है।
प्रीति, can you also read the minds of people?
Exactly.
I hope you all enjoyed the play, and we have an honor of having the real Johnson into our gathering. I would like to call him up on the stage and address a few words to the gathering.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, marvelous. Akhilesh, Shilpi, Keshav, Adarsh, Atishi, and my Johnson, Shreyans. Marvelous. Thank you very much. That was an excellent theater. ऐसा क्या है research में? I would just added that. ऐसा क्या है research में? Fantastic. I mean, you guys have very beautifully conveyed all the 6 values. Thank you very much. Thanks. I just take this opportunity basically to welcome all the new scholars. You already have all the 6 values presently fantastic by this group. What I would like to say is that I've been here for 1 year, I've been here 1 year, and I can actually see all these values building up over one period. Like we three of us are here right now, but we are five, and we actually all three of us feel very high of ourselves. Always, it's like, I mean, as they mentioned that it's the psychological safety and dignity, like that has actually come into us. So that's one part. And also, I mean, I'm sure as a scholar like you guys, when you came in and you were doing your interviews and the selection process, you must have felt like where you are coming, what is it that you're going to do research upon. So the selection procedure, you must have felt that yes, this procedure, if you pass this procedure, you will start feeling that dignity. And these guys have already mentioned everything, but then just to add between what Albert Einstein said, like he said that if I had a choice between imagination and knowledge, I will go for imagination because knowledge has a limitation, whereas imagination does not have a limitation. And that is what they connected with the cognitive courage that we have developed over here. You know, we did a very fantastic project recently, sir. We came to a seminar, all of us, and we had that courage to come out with 5 research questions. And all 5 of us had different questions, altogether different questions. So that was one cognitive courage, and I would say that we have developed. And then there was a community of all 5 of us, which basically is very cohesive. So it's very cohesive, it's very constructive in imagination. And that is what I would say is coming your way. So and all these questions were different, and our professor actually dwelled on each of them. So thanks to him. So that kind of things do happen. Now, one more thing, like when we have these questions coming up, so you actually develop humility to learn. So I had my 5 questions, so that was my 5. But when I got 5 questions from Rajni, 5 questions from Ashish, more of them, so they were like 15 of them. So you develop that humility to learn. Again, a value. So we are just living those values over here. Now, important thing, scholars, it's not going to be easy for you, frankly, because I'm sure all of you are working, number one. And nowadays, everyone has this work from home and combination of that. It's not going to be easy. Also, most of you must be having families. And so that's again thing. But then, we also had the same challenge. Let me tell you, we also had the same challenge. But then we had that excitement to come back to the classes over here on the weekend. And that's an honest confession that we can do. We like 5 days traveling, most of us travel a lot nowadays, but then we always had that excitement. Now, it is something to add on what we get over here. I was quite sick in the month of February, March. It was very difficult for me to actually walk or drive. But however, I never wanted to leave the excitement of the class that is happening over here on Saturdays and Sundays. So I requested if I could come on MS Teams and then take that. I mean, I was given the privilege that just to come on and don't leave the class. So what I want to say is that they accommodated me as a special case, and I did not miss my excitement. So I'm still excited today. Frankly, I'm still excited. And one thing before I end, I would like to caution all of you. The caution is that our standards are very high. Frankly, I mean, it's very high. You actually have to aim for the sky, then actually you land on Earth. That is what it is. So here we study papers which are all from category A and A+ journals. That is what we do. And the same is in the case of the studies of the research materials and various literatures that we do. The books that we review are from the top-class authors, writers, and management thinkers as well, and so are the titles. So it will actually demand your focus, your focus and your dedication. Now this, again, is a value. This is for your pursuit of excellence. So, so this is what I can talk about in 1 year, how it has come over here. But frankly, don't worry. You don't have to worry about it, because the ecosystem is very participative, and it will keep your energy levels very high. So these approaches actually complementing each other makes the learning in FPM at this institute very exciting and very interesting. So all my new colleagues, welcome on board, and I wish you all the best for your fantastic journey, and thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Hello. And now I would like to call upon the coordinator of Abhivekti, the Dramatics Club of our LBSIM, upon the stage, who was a director of this play, and say a few words. Can we have Keshav Gupta on the stage?
Very good evening to all the esteemed guests present here. I hope you all like the. Well, it was not easy to actually make this play a success, because the main constraint we had was time. And I really appreciate the enthusiasm of all the students who took out time from their classes, their club activities, and other commitments. I'll take a moment to introduce the whole cast. Shilpi, who played Preeti. Adarsh, who played Rajesh. Shreyansh, who played Johnson. Akhilesh, who played Sumit. And Atishi, who played Nisha. And in the last, we also had Mehak and Mohit on the back end. They helped us with lights, camera, and everything. So appreciation for them as well. And in the last, I would like to give a very special thanks to Dr. Vikas Bhatnagar sir for always being the guiding star throughout the play. He was there in all the rehearsal that we had. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abhivekti and the first year students, for the mesmerizing performance and, more importantly, for the message communicated. Before we proceed further, we are extremely blessed to have Dr. Jagdish Sheth with us this evening as the chief guest of eminence as he joins from Atlanta. We extend our heartiest welcome to you, sir. While the vision and mission spell out what is to be done,
exciting for me to be part of this function today. Before that, I'm basically specialized in civil engineering, and after that I did my master's from IIT Bombay in transportation systems engineering. So I thought that taking this transportation specialization and in further, as a part of research, high value research, I took this decision of having a PhD degree. And since I came back to Delhi from Dehradun, it was very suitable for me and very convenient for me to be part of LBSIM. I got an email from Professor Bhatnagar in the month of February introducing me to this course of this FPM course. And I had something in my mind that I definitely will be able to, I was already, accustomed to the part-time, getting a part-time degree. So working on weekends or, having a class on weekend is nothing new to me because I already been accustomed to such kind of thing. So I hope that I will be able to meet the expectations which are there with the, as such, the scholar, PhD scholar here. And I will be taking forward, and as we have seen the impactful research, I think through my efforts and through the support of the faculty here, I will be able to get through the milestones, PhD milestones. So thank you so much for having me here. Have a great evening ahead. Thank you.
Now I would like to call upon Anand Pachauri.
Good evening, everyone. And as you already heard, I am also Anand. So Anand, we have to decide who will be the Johnson now. I'm feeling really proud and privileged to be standing here today with such esteemed guests, honorable faculty member of this institute, the students, the future fellows, and the current or the present batch of fellows of this program. I'm working as a general manager and head of learning for Signify, formerly known as Philips Lighting, and I'm responsible for program management globally for our commercial organization, which includes sales, marketing, and digital transformation. Prior to this company, I have worked in companies in steel, oil and gas, and power sector, and have had privilege of working with some of the brightest minds in the industry, and I'm really excited to bring that experience to this program. I'm a chemical engineer. I have done my master's also in chemical engineering from IIT Roorkee, and my post-graduation diploma in business management from Narsi Munji, Mumbai. And as a certified instructional designer and lean framework practitioner, for the last 15 years of my career, I'm working in the domain of people, which is HR. As the world continues to evolve, and I am increasingly interested in the intersection between the technological evolvements like artificial intelligence and the people, behavior, performance, and processes. And with this program, I'm aspiring to achieve my goal and imagination of creating models and frameworks which will help organizations and professionals to build diverse, inclusive, and equal workforce, and contribute towards the growth of our country. And at the end, I would like to congratulate all the fellow members or the students of this batch, and I would like to say that this is going to be an exciting journey with all of you. And special thanks to Dr. Bhatnagar for giving us such a warm welcome. This will be a memorable moment for us and a beginning of a great journey. Thank you, everyone.
Can we have Anunesh Srivastava on the dais, please?
A very good evening to one and all present here. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. I am Anuna Srivastav, and I started my career in 2014 as a banker after completing my postgraduate diploma in management from Ford School of Management. Currently, I am working with the IndusInd Bank as a deputy vice president, and I'm taking care of their retail banking vertical for South Delhi branches. And my main interest for coming into this field of research is because I personally feel the theory which Team Abhivakti just displayed कि भैया हमको कुछ नहीं आता है. So I think after having a career of 8 to 9 years in banking, then I think I decided to pursue my interest, though this is an interest for a long time, but somehow I was not able to, get this opportunity. Then fortunately, I came across this beautiful institute and I interacted with Dr. Bhatnagar. And I thought, yeah, that now is the time when I should start it. And my area of interest, area of research, I would like to do research in the field of strategic entrepreneurship. So if I talk about a strategic entrepreneurship, it's a combination or integration of two disciplines. These two disciplines are different but complementary. One is entrepreneurship and one is strategic management. So I would like to do some good contribution, some good research in this field where I will combine, I can help in combining strategic management and entrepreneurship so that both new age ventures as well as established organizations, they can build up more sustainable business models. Once again, thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. Good evening to you all.
Let's welcome Anupreet Vig.
A very good evening to all of you. Standing over here, actually I'm feeling very blessed, humbled to join an institute which actually thinks knowledge is not just, reading books and understanding whatever. So it is a joyous experience. So about me, I started my journey, I started my career. I did my bachelor's in physiotherapy in year 2003 and then worked as a physiotherapist for a few years. Then I pursued my MPhil in Hospital and Health Systems Management from BITS Pilani. And then I moved from clinical to management side. Worked with Max Healthcare for a few years in different roles, like program manager, manager operations, deputy medical superintendent, but something was amiss somewhere. So I just left Max and pursued my passion. So I went into academics. I joined a business school over here and worked as a senior faculty and also was working as a visiting professor for healthcare management students. In 2018, I was basically invited to join them full-time for an assistant professor for healthcare management. So currently, I am working as an assistant professor for healthcare management students in Jesus and Mary College. And so COVID again gave me a chance to introspect and reflect. So I did my certification of coaching. So I'm a coach also. So I'm a life coach from International Coaching Federation. I basically was thinking about doing PhD for a long time, but again, I was not feeling very comfortable joining from anywhere. But when I came across LBSIM and I learned about the values and all that, so I was very keen of understanding what it is and exploring it. So I wanted to do my research on basically role of coaching and emotional intelligence on the impact the leaders can create if they are coached and they develop emotional intelligence. So that is my whole idea, and I look forward towards a joyous and learning journey ahead. So thank you very much.
Next we have on board is Gaurav Badwar.
So hi, very good evening everyone. My name is Gaurav Badwar and I'm working as a general manager in Times Pro, which is an edtech venture from Times of India Group. Having close to around 23 years of experience of corporate life, almost entirely into education and edtech, I got a distinct opportunity to handle education business at the various stages of education, be it K-12, higher education, vocational education, executive education, global business, university business, education technology, and so on. And by this virtue, I was able to interact with the learners very, very closely to understand their problems, their experience, and their concerns. I am myself a very keen learner and a strong advocate of lifelong learning. After completing my BCom honors and subsequently MBA, I kept on picking up some other course every year to keep myself upskilled. I am alumnus of long duration programs from IIM Calcutta, IIM Lucknow, and IIM Indore. Having been associated with EdTech right from the early stages, I have seen three kind of situations. One, where we know the problem and we know the solution. Second, where we know the problem but we don't know the solution yet. And the third, where we don't know the problem in the first place. That is something like we don't know what we don't know. And as rightly said that the future may not be the linear extension of the past, and some of the time-tested ways and means may not work going ahead. The same is applicable to the EdTech, which changes very, very fast, and tomorrow we are bound to witness a very difficult, very different kind of situation and problems. And I feel by embarking this journey, I would be able to identify some of the relevant problems and solutions, make the original contributions to the existing body of knowledge, and do something which could be helpful to the learners and society as a whole. At the end, I would like to thank LBSIM and all the esteemed professors, especially Professor Bhatnagar, for considering me worth for this program. I ensure that I would make you proud. And my best wishes to all the fellow scholars. So thank you so much. Have a great day.
Let's welcome Jaitilak Majumdar.
Good evening all. My name is Jaitilak Majumdar. I worked currently around last 23 years. Currently operating as a Senior Vice President and Chief Growth Officer for Patanjali Ayurved. I have an experience of electrical, electronics, consumer durables, telecom, and FMCG. These are the industries I work. Across industries, my area of domain was product strategy, marketing, sales, and business. So these are the areas which I have majorly worked on to. Almost around 10 odd years before I become a kind of subject matter experts for a few of the industries for the consulting organizations like McKinsey, BCG, and Bain & Company. I am their subject matter expert, Class A expert for them, primarily for electrical and electronics. Additionally, I do a few of the projects which is primarily pro bono for different startups in these fields, where I suggest them to area of growth. My passion of, I would say, or understanding is about growth. Growth is something which I believe is something which Indians at different level or Indian entrepreneurs at different level have done extremely well. However, if you look at, there are probably more than 10 lakh entrepreneurs who are working at a different size of businesses and is not ready to find out the growth. Growth was difficult probably 3 years before, 5 years before, where technology was not invading so much in the business. Right now, it has invaded so much. So, being an entrepreneur, you can actually talking to next 1 lakh consumers sitting at your home, ensuring that they get to know about your product or they buy your products. Additionally, there is a bigger change which is happening around is credit, which is one of the biggest scalability issue for Indian entrepreneurs. So once this gets opened up between these two areas, which is technology and credit access, I believe my passion of work is about growing the next, create a growth playbook for 100 crore to 1,000 crore journey for organizations which is primary into the consumer goods. This is the area which I am looking at to work for. I was trying to do my PhD for a long time, but primarily about my job, I have changed around till date, I believe 16 odd cities till date. So couldn't do it till now and had few of the obviously personal commitments which I am now getting free from and would be able to get time, committed time for this program. And I'm very honest that I have met almost 4 or 5 business schools where I've gone, got interviewed, sometimes got placed or they have selected me, all of them. But what I liked about Mr. Vatnagar, the way of interactions we had on the day of selections, it was pretty challenging, I would say. I mean, sometimes I felt very stressed, very differently stressed, saying that people have not asked me those questions till date. Okay. That's actually excited me, and there are a few more interactions thereafter with Mr. Vatnagar. And yes, that's one of the interactions or, post interaction, something has charged up, and I thought that yes, I can do the program from here. So thanks a lot, sir. And thanks all the eminent faculties, the scholars and everyone being present here. And I feel blessed really to be part of this institute. Thank you, sir.
I would now like to call upon Mayank Mehta.
I would request you all to be precise on 3 points: your background, educational, your current role, and your research interest. Honorable Dr. Sheth has already joined, and we would like him to address us at 6 p.m. Indian time. Thank you.
A very good evening to all. My name is Mayank Mehta. I have been working in HR for past 14 years odd. Work in organizations like Panasonic, RJ Corp, and now in Infocom Network Private Limited. I'm heading HR there. And as you say, HR heading, this is the 29th of July and salary is time, so I've been rushing all over here and there. So far, what I've understand is that there have been many areas in HR which are not actually worked on and worked for. My research interest is very much similar to what Sir has already done in the past, and that is challenging the status quo of evaluation and assessment. Now, assessment goes back to Mahabharata or Ramayana when Acharya Drona asked Arjuna to focus and see bird's eye. That was an assessment. But right now, assessments have been primarily into monopoly of more of the organizations where we have to abide by the rules. And that is what I look forward to change in. That is my research work. That will be it from my side. Thank you so much.
Next we have Naina Manglik.
Good evening, everyone. I am Nana, currently working as a UI designer and learning digital marketing. Since my professional life is all into digital transformation, but when it's come to my personal life, all I am seeing the impact of digital transformation. So my area of interest is the impact and the history and the pace of change in human behavior with digitization, and the major like target audience for this research will be the digitoids, the kids and people between the age of 14 to 18. Thank you.
Thank you, Naina. Next we have Narendra Pal Singh.
Good evening all. I am Narendra Sidhu. Presently I am working at Indian Oil as a DGM Strategic Information System. I am heading a digital transformation project there. Actually I am a computer science graduate, and I have done my executive MBA from FMS, Delhi University. My area is, of course, digital transformation, management of technology and new innovations, strategy. So, thank you.
Can we have Rishi Rajvanshi, please?
Thank you, LBSM, for giving me this opportunity. Respected Chief Guest of Eminence, Professor Jagdish Seth sir, Chief Guest of Honor, Dr. Eugene Fernandez, who gave a very good talk, Chairman Board of Governors, LBSM, Shri Anil Shastri ji sir, Director LBSM sir, Chairperson FPM sir, distinguished faculties at LBSM, FPM 2022 batch, and my colleagues. I am currently working with Room to Read. It's an education not-for-profit. It's basically an NGO that works in the field of education. So my area of topic is a little different. I did my post-graduation in rural management from IRM Jaipur, and post that I've been working for last 17 years in the world of elementary education. And the reason why I started this, when in 2005 as a student, like all of you sitting at the back, there was an annual status of education report that Pratham, which is India's one of the most renowned organization, came up with. And as a student, I volunteered for it. And when we went to the villages and did this household survey on student learning, we realized that 50% of children, standard 5, were not able to read a standard 2 text. And obviously the numbers were even more poor for mathematics and English. And for last 17 years, I have tried to work on this particular area, earlier for 12 years with Pratham, and currently with Room to Read. And my area of interest is the same thing that I am right now doing, is to understand what in a country as diverse like India, why is this so, and what are the different programs that have achieved good results. There have been good programs that have achieved good results, and I've been part of them, which have been rigorously evaluated as part of randomized control trial by MIT US Poverty Action Lab. And my focus would be to learn and contribute more. In the realm of the current new education policy, I think my research would be of interest to everybody, including Government of India. Thank you.
Before we proceed further, let me share with you that we have with us Mr. Jayant Shah, who has connected with us online. We extend our heartfelt welcome to you, sir.
So I am a mechanical graduate, mechanical engineering graduate. Then I did my MBA in power management and masters in financial analysis from ICFI University. So currently, actually I have worked for 4 or 5 large corporates starting from Tata Steel, IL&FS, PTC India Financial Services, CRISIL Ratings, and now I am with India Ratings and Research. My area of research would be related to, as we have witnessed in last 10 years that many corporates have failed. So the corporate's failure doesn't impact only the financial market, stock markets, and the entire economy, but it also impacts the employees as well of those companies. So my area of research is related to that, and my focus, 3-point focus would be there for the research area. One would be common corporate governance issues which these companies could have, finding out that. Second would be some early warning signals that these companies might have exhibited before they actually failed. And the third would be on the impact on employees. I would just take one more minute and would give an example of corporate governance from the from Ramayana. When the Ravan was in the utmost crisis situation and the Ram and the entire Vanar Sena had come across the sea, they were standing there. Then Ravan had called meeting of their council of ministers and asked, what should we do now? Then Tulsidas has written about that, what his ministers suggested him. That first sloka was, Jite surasur tabsram nahi, nar vanar ke hi lekhe mahi. So his ministers told him that जब आपने सुर और असुरों को भी जीत लिया और उसमें भी आपको मेहनत नहीं लगी तो ये नर और वानर क्या करेंगे आपके. So that was the first thing. And the second sloka Tulsidas ji has written that सचिव वैद गुरु तीन जौ प्रिय बोलहि भय आस राज धर्म तन तीन कर होई बेगही नास. It means that अगर आपके सचिव, वैद्य और गुरु अगर भय या किसी लोभ की आशा से आपको गलत सलाह दे रहे हैं तो राजा हो, राज्य हो या धर्म हो या आपका शरीर हो, उनका नाश होना तय है. So that is how something related to corporate governance. It is entirely dependent on the team you have, whether you are running a family, a society, or a country. So the team has to be perfect. I mean, they should be in the good spirit. So suggesting you everything. That's all I want to say. All the best. Thank you so much.
I now call upon Shivalini Sharma.
Good evening, August gathering. I am Shivalini. I have done my master's in business administration with specialization in finance and marketing. After my post-graduation, I happened to join a private sector bank and realized that banking perhaps and the private sector is not for me. I got an opportunity to join academia. My first project was with Tata Institute of Social Sciences. After that, I got an opportunity to work with Niti Aayog, which is a national think tank. I have worked on several national flagship schemes of Government of India. The crucial one being direct benefit transfer mission of Government of India, which imbibed the JAM trinity, we say, Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and Mobile. So I was lucky enough to be part of that core team. My second important project was National Scholarship Portal, which is a harmonization of scholarship schemes of Government of India. My posting while I was with Niti Aayog, it was with the Cabinet Secretariat. So I happened to interact with several bureaucrats, Amitabh Kant being one of them. And after that, I've worked on many other projects of government. Khelo India scheme. I've also worked with Ministry of Mines. I've developed a policy paper on national non-ferrous metal scrap recycling policy. But what caught my attention was, of course, the National Scholarship Portal. So Government of India, in the past 5-6 years, have spent more than 5,000 crores on scholarships. This is exactly my research proposal. I want to see what is the social and economic impact these scholarship programs are creating in the life of the beneficiary. So I happen to research, I'm aiming to find answers to my research problem, both at the micro level, that is at the individual beneficiary level, as well as at the macro level, whether it has resulted in, say, economic wealth creation or not. I am very excited, a little nervous, but mostly ecstatic to be here. And I really thank Dr. Bhatnagar for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I hope you have a great time. Thank you so much.
Last but not the least, we have Vinayak Sharma.
Hello everyone. My name is Vinayak. So I'm also an alumni of LBISIM. So I joined the RK Puram campus way back, then passed out from this institute when this got built up. So how LBISM helped me, it helped me to, everything is about evolution. Everything evolves. Technology evolves, people evolves, your relationship evolves. It helped me prepare to be a better person and to face the world even betterly. Because when I joined, the most good thing about this program and when I joined was, I joined in 2008 when we are moving out into the recession, coming out of recession. And here we are in 2023, still talking about top line falling, recession looms going on. So it's always good to go back to the basics and understand and take help from the experts. And of course, I've been taught by Mr. Gupta himself. So it's always a good, you always go back to the books, understand and figure out a way. And of course, share knowledge, this is what I can say. My experience has been majorly into solution architecturing, where you design solutions for the companies. Is basically what they're looking for, you match what the company has. On the virtue of technology outsourcing, so this is where I come from. And my area of interest is basically marketing and also, strategic entrepreneurship. Because as a solution architect, I can say it breaks my heart when you're designing a solution that takes away people's job. You're giving them a technological replacement. So moving into a more strategic direction plus increasing top line through the best marketing effort would always create a balance, right, in the society and gives you all kind of psychological safety, which starts with capability and your job security. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. As faculty, our hearts swell with joy in welcoming the scholars of batch 2023. And as an institution,
Good evening, everybody. On behalf of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, I would like to propose the vote of thanks for the day. We at LBSM would wholeheartedly thank our chairman, Shri Anil Shastri, Ms. Srimati Manju Shastri for their gracious presence. We also profusely thank Professor Jagdish Seth for being the chief guest of eminence for the day. His acceptance and presence at the inaugural program of the second batch of the FPM program, it's itself a momentous occasion for us. We would like to carry forward and assure you that we as teachers, learners and researchers would be lifelong learning, will be doing the lifelong learning and carry forward your mantra of deep journalism. We look forward, sir, to your future engagements with our institute in terms of research collaboration with our faculty and students. We would also further like to thank Dr. Eugene Fernandez, guest of honor. His three critical themes of organizational management on deep impact research, out of observation, reflection, and looking back would profusely be compounded by our scholars when they take on this FPM journey. We would also like to thank our director, Dr. Praveen Gupta, who encourages all of us here to take new strides and leaps. Dr. G.L. Sharma, faculty colleagues, FPM team, especially Dr. Vikas Rai Bhatnagar, Dr. Balram Tyagi, the core committee members, and faculty colleagues who have been engaged in selection process, the entire administrative staff, the performing students, management grid for ensuring the program goes well. It has been wonderful with all your support. We would also like to thank all the FPM scholars for joining us, and special thanks also go to the PGDM general students for being a patient audience. Thank you for all your presence, and it has been a glorious day. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, we close the second inaugural ceremony of Fellow Program in Management. May I now request the scholars and invitees to proceed to L&D Center for refreshments. Thank you.